Hey guys, welcome to another Trade Genius podcast. Bob and Phil here. As always, have you heard of the Great Wall of China? Well, we're going to talk about the Great Wall of NVIDIA in today's video. Let's dive in.
Trade Genius.
All right, Bob, I know you cooked up some charts. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about NVIDIA a lot because I'm trying to think, okay, what is this bear market going to look like going into 2025? Is it going to be a crash, or are we going to have this liquidity wave? And does the liquidity wave shift and we have basically a rotation crash? What I mean by that is like what happened in 2000, 2002, where tech rolled over hard, and in the 70s where Nifty 50 rolled over hard, and then you had a big move into commodities, but the indexes went down. And I'm thinking, well, there's only one stock to watch to see if that happens. That's NVIDIA, right? It's the only one that matters. And then lo and behold, middle of the day or late morning, whenever BlackRock felt that they had enough short positions on, they released the news on SMCI that they're being investigated by the Department of Justice. I guarantee you no trader knew that was coming. And SMCI then plunged 100 points. NVIDIA caught a little bit of a cold through this, but here's my thinking on this, Phil, and then I'll talk about the chart, is that they may be climbing up the ladder here. You go after SMCI, you find the accounting irregularities, and then you go after NVIDIA, okay? Because this has happened before, and there's a chart, I just couldn't get it to work right, but Nortel did this, Cisco did this, Qualcomm did this, they all did this, this circle jerk financing they do, and it ends up you're not creating any value, but you make the balance sheets look good, and then it all just implodes on you. And so I'm thinking, okay, if we're gonna get a blow off top, which I'm still in favor of, why isn't NVIDIA leading? And look at this chart, Phil. This is amazing. I'm gonna look sideways so I can see it a little bit bigger.
Yep.
Is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 lower highs banging up against this daily resistance line you see here. That's our Fibonacci retrace that we have here that helps guide us whether we're in buy the dip mode or sell the rip mode, Phil, as you know. And this thing is just, it climbed right back up to it again, but it didn't make another new high. And so you have this thing, it looks like an inverted head and shoulders, but it's kind of crooked. And those aren't usually the ones that get bought. And especially if the right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder, which in this case it is. So my thinking is that it's really a binary event for us, is that, when we get this true sell signal from our system, which, if you look on an hourly, we already got a flash of one, but this is a daily one. If make a little bit of a lower low on this for NVIDIA, then I think you could put on a short position on NVIDIA and have this inverted head and shoulders blow up on you. So that's kind of my thinking behind it. And if I'm wrong, which I won't be wrong because I won't be taking a position unless I get that confirmation, is that this thing could go up another 40 points from here. But how likely is that? That's you're talking, maybe another $1 trillion in market cap, going into a recession,
Right.
Which we're going to talk about more tomorrow, by the way, with employment. So that's kind of my thinking behind it. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. Hey everybody, it's Bob with Trade Genius. Usually I do fun ads. I talk about our service, but I want to be serious with you for a second. We've been helping a lot of people trading for a long time. As you can see here, I want to let them do the talking for me for a change. But most importantly, we want to help you too. If you have not joined our service yet, come check us out, tradelikeagenius.com. Full service. We have chat room. We have the algorithms for you. We give trades out every day. We educate you. So go to tradelikeagenius.com. Check us out. What you get out of our service is much, much more than what you put into it, and we'd like to see you in the room. Thanks for listening.
Well, I agree with you that the market cap would have to get stupidly high for this to break out again. What we could see are the more of a broadening in the breadth of the markets, and then it supports the index of going higher. And tech might lag, whereas you might see the small caps catch up, right? And I think SPX is probably the winner of them all at this point if we do get that scenario. But I agree the way that they've split the stock and everything, like now the market cap is so great that it would be tough, I think, for this thing to really have another breakout like we saw in the last year. Could it still poke new highs? Yeah, it could, but I think we're really swimming upstream now with this stock. So at the end of the day, you trade the chart, right? And China, obviously, with the recent stimulus, is kind of giving a boost to different things. Although NVIDIA today struggled obviously, but it did gap higher, right? But it just didn't sustain. And you had that, like you said, you had the SMCI. It's funny, nothing new under the sun, right? It's like every time we get into a bubble, one of these guys, it's like the Ring in the Lord of the Rings, right? It's just too great. They have to have that, and they have to appease the shareholder value. So anyway, I think we're gonna get more stories like that as this thing rolls over. Usually, once the market does roll over and share values start to fall and the tide goes out, you realize real quick who doesn't have any close. And I guarantee you, we'll have another round of MCI and Qualcomm and Enron, all of those infamous names from previous bubbles. It's always the case, and they can't help themselves. So I think that's going to exacerbate things when we do roll over. But so that's kind of what I think, Bob. I'm open to, again, I think we got seasonalities in play. I think the end of the month got people a little goofy footed because they were looking for a drop seasonally, and we didn't really get that. And then we had another month, like I think you were mentioning in March, I think it was like that. And then where we were expecting to move up into OPEX, we got the opposite. So it was like two opposites. And then we should sync up, I think, middle of October, when you get that 2 week before that election, it's really tough to be short this market. I think you have to be long. And then probably the most volatile election we'll ever see. So there's a lot of volatility, but I think right now you have to just trade the charts. You have your ideas and things like that, but trade the charts in front of us. And right now we have to see, Nvidia has to show us the money. And I don't, until it does, I wouldn't jump the shark here and say, go long on Nvidia because it's just going to blow off. Because I think it's a little trickier than that.
Yeah. And I think the indexes will struggle, unless Nvidia really gets a move here. But the other thing too about Nvidia is that their latest generation products aren't selling at the same pace as the one prior.
Yep.
So
Yep.
So you have a lot of things working against it. And Nvidia has this habit of dropping 70% from whatever wave they follow. They seem to be great wave generators, but they always come back and retrace about 70% of that move. And I think we'll see it here as well, because China can't take advantage of the Nvidia chips unless they steal them, because they're forbidden to use them. So, forbidden to use them legally. So it'd be interesting to see, Phil. Bitcoin and gold are doing what they're supposed to do in the liquidity push. MicroStrategies, which the system has been telling you to buy Misty on the pair trade. Everything's been going ballistic in that area, but they all hit kind of resistance today too. So we'll have to see. Maybe we digest a couple days to get through the quarter end, Phil, and then we're going to see whether or not we just explode in October, or like you said, we finally get the pullback that we expected this week. It'll happen next week, because they seem to be goofy footing the traders a lot with seasonality by a week. So with that, guys, interesting topic here today. Watch SMCI. If those guys roll over, then it's over for Nvidia, because they'll spill the beans on the game that's being played right now. Thanks for listening.
See you later.
Trade Genius.